concern yourself. I'm sure he'll soon find us. Besides, gentlemen, I'm quite convinced that we already know this news he would bring us. I'm afeard he comes to tell us that these independent companies that have mastered Fredericksburg intend to march upon the city and demand the return of the powder that Lord Dunmore, our governor, removed from the magazine.
Removed? Sir, I believe you mean the gunpowder that Dunmore stole from our magazine, or had his sailors steal, not a week ago. Sir, some 15 half barrels of our own powder taken from our public storehouse under cover of darkness.
Hold your tongue, man. Now I'll hear no more of this. Now, our governor has assured us he will return that powder, and we must give him the opportunity to make good on his word.
Respectfully, sir, it's been 8 days since the governor's promised to restore that gunpowder, and there's no sign of it yet. I advocate we let those men from Fredericksburg come here and force the governor's hand on this matter.
Yes, Mr. Carey. Force the governor's hand.
Yes.
He'll follow through with his threat to arm our slaves and put this city to the torch if he or his family are threatened any further.
You make my point. You make my point. The fact he's made the threat indicates danger.
There is no need of any further provocation.
Mr. Speaker, good sir, hear me, please, sir.
Mr. Page.
I bring dire news from the north, sir. Blood has been spilled in Massachusetts.
What is this news you will bring us?
British regulars, under command of General Gage in Boston, were ordered to seize gunpowder from the magazines in Lexington.
Same as Dunmore did here.
No, that's a conspiracy, Justice Speaker.
Hold the people hold. What more, sir?
And the people of Lexington mustered to defend their gunpowder and their rights. Well, the British troops would not hear reason. Instead, King George's men fired upon those assembled, and without provocation.
Mr. Patient, you're quite certain of this?
Mr. Speaker, I bring dispatch from Watertown, New England.
Watertown, New England, Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock. To all friends of American liberty, be it known that this morning before break of day, a brigade consisting of about 1,000 or 1,200 men landed at Phipps Farm at Cambridge and marched to Lexington, where they found a company of our colony militia in arms
Please, sir, stay on.
upon whom they fired without any provocation and killed 6 men and wounded 4 others.
Here we are. Now we know where to be next. I say let us storm the palace now!
So we wait for necessity made to be blockaded, fair, and constant and suffering, so we.
Reasonable word.
The governor has given us his assurances.
This governor has threatened to arm our slaves against us. Certainly has.
Right now, there are 600 men, militiamen massed in Fredericksburg, and they are bound here for Williamsburg. I say I'm right up and deep in that town.
Now, the Virginia Convention recommended that we place ourselves into a posture of defense, and we have done so.
Huzzah!
Gentlemen, please, a posture of defense, not offense. We must not be so eager, cousin, for violence and retribution. Now, certainly we must seek the redress of our grievance, but we must also seek reconciliation with the crown. Therefore, we must have peace first.
General Gage has destroyed the peace.
Mr. Speaker, there's something else you ought to know, sir.
What more could there be, sir?
I have it on sound authority that Lord Dunmore has given orders to seize and detain any delegate that would make their way to the Grand Congress in Philadelphia. To include yourself, sir.
Sir, how many more insults are necessary? Action is called for.
Mr. Page, I know you have ridden long and hard this day, but I beseech you to ride back and intercept those independent companies in Fredericksburg. Tell them that we have matters well in hand. Have them disband and return to their families. Tell them Williamsburg is safe.
Safe? You feel safe?
Speaker, are you certain of this, sir?
Further violence is not the answer. Of that, sir, I am quite certain. Godspeed to you.
God be with you, Mr. Speaker. And God save Virginia!
Cousin Page, for all we know, there's a troop ship in the James as we speak.
Friends, fellow countrymen, hear me. These are most dangerous times, as I believe this news from Lexington does bear witness, for we find ourselves standing upon a precipice from which we dare not fall. Beneath us is a great abyss with all the bloodshed and misery that is civil war. This is why we must measure the consequences of all that we do, and we must choose reason and not passion. Now, there may come the time when it is reasonable that we take up arms in our own defense, but I can assure you, cousin, that time has not yet arrived. This is why I would have you all return to your homes, to your families, to your businesses. As many of you know, I depart on the morrow for Philadelphia, where I will meet with the men of the several other colonies in hopes of finding a peaceable solution to these ills that threaten to overwhelm us.
At least a heightened state of readiness.
Pray, cousin, give us the chance to reconcile with the crown, that we might avoid the destruction of all that we hold dear. Good people, we ask for your prayers for our success. God save Virginia. Gentlemen, if you would.
Speaker Randall, sir.
Captain Ennis.
Mr. Speaker, it is the sworn duty of our Williamsburg volunteers to protect all of our citizens, sir, by our lives and our swords. Now, Mr. Page has just informed us that Lord Dunmore seeks to detain you, sir, if you should attend the Grand Congress in Philadelphia. Mr. Speaker, sir, as you are first amongst us, the Williamsburg volunteers would humbly request that we be allowed to escort you on your way, at least as far as the Maryland line, sir. So Lord Dunmore would not be successful in his attempt.
My dear Captain, this I do not for one moment think Lord Dunmore, the governor of Virginia, would mean any mischief to the Speaker of the House of Burgesses. Though I dare say Mrs. Randolph disagrees. So therefore, perhaps it would be prudent that I accept this most gracious offer.
I believe it would be, sir.
Very well, then. We will see you on the morrow.
Indeed, sir.
And I thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen?
Yes, of course. Captain, at least a score of men.
My entire company will be there, sir.
Very good.
Now attend me then. All men here who are with the Williamsburg volunteers, you are at this moment to take yourselves to your homes and make ready to depart. Each man is to bring with him provisions and sufficient shot and powder for a week's march. Take care you all set a sharp, strong edge to your tomahawks, gentlemen. And all men here who are the volunteers and any man who would join with us in the fight for the cause of America is to gather at 6 o'clock on the morrow at the courthouse. God save Virginia!
God save Virginia!